Everybody ready? Good? All right. On January the 16th, moments after I was inaugurated as Alabama's Secretary of State, I signed a letter informing the Electronic Registration Information Center, better known as ERIC, of Alabama's withdrawal. I promised then that we would develop an Alabama-based solution to manage the integrity of our state's voter list. Today, I'm here to announce that the establishment of the Alabama Voter Integrity Database, AVID. AVID is a four-pronged system that my team and I have spent the last 8 months developing to help us maintain a clean and accurate registered voter list. I appreciate the dedication of the staff here at the Secretary of State's office who have worked so incredibly hard to make AVID a reality. The four aspects of AVID include a cooperative interagency agreement with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, national change of address file, cooperative agreements with other states, and analysis of the Social Security Death Index. The first prong is an interagency agreement with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency. ALEA and my office are working closely together to identify registered voters in Alabama who have moved or obtained a driver's license or non-driver ID in another state. I want to take this opportunity to thank Secretary Hal Taylor and his whole team and staff at ALEA for their assistance. They have been tremendous. Utilizing data provided by ALEA, our IT department has identified 8,041 voters as of today who have received driver's licenses from other states while remaining listed as active voters on Alabama's voter registration list. AVID's second prong is the analysis of the national change of address file. This file lists individuals who have notified the United States Postal Service that they would like their mail forwarded due to the fact that they have moved out of state. In comparing the national change of address list to the current Alabama voter list, we have identified more than 30,000 active registered voters who have notified the United States Postal Service that they have relocated to an address outside of the state of Alabama. The third prong of AVID is the execution of memorandums of understanding, or MOUs, with other states that allow our office to exchange registered voter lists with the states that have signed these agreements. By comparing our voter list to the list of those states, we can identify individuals who are registered to vote in Alabama, but who are also registered to vote in another state. Today, I'm proud to announce that the Secretaries of State of Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, and Tennessee have all signed MOUs with Alabama. The analysis of our voter list compared to that of Tennessee has already begun, and we have identified 8,501 voters who have more recently registered to vote or voted in Tennessee, but continue to appear on Alabama's voter registration list. Data exchanges with the other 4 states will begin very soon. We are looking forward to entering into future agreements with even more states. Because of the development of AVID, Alabama will be able to access the voter list of every state that borders us for the first time in history. We have never had that ability. More than allowing us to identify if anyone on our voter list is registered in another state, this will also flag anyone who voted in our state and another state. This will be an incredible tool in detecting voter fraud and protecting our elections. The fourth prong of AVID will be an analysis of the Social Security Death Index, which is a nationwide index of deceased individuals whose deaths were reported to the Social Security Administration. It has been kept since 1962, when operations were computerized. We are in the final stages of the accreditation process required to access this data. This will allow us, for the first time in our state's history, to identify people who are currently on our voter list who have passed away, regardless of the state in which they live or which they died. Registered voters on our list who identified as having possibly moved to other states due to the National Change of Address file, the ALEA list, or our MOUs with other states will receive a postcard mailed to the address we have listed on the Alabama Registered Voters List. The postcard will notify them that they have received information that they have moved outside of the state. The card instructs them to update the voter registration information at alabamavotes.gov if they still live in Alabama, or to withdraw their voter registration if they no longer reside in our state. The postcards being sent to them from their County Board of Registrars. At the same time, the individual's record in Alabama voter database will be placed in an inactive status in accordance with the National Voter Registration Act. According to federal law, we must wait 4 years before officially removing those individuals from our voter registration list. However, if an individual presents in an Alabama polling location after being marked as inactive due to NVRA, before being allowed to cast a ballot, they will be required to update their voter registration information. As to those individuals who have been confirmed as deceased, federal law allows their names to be immediately removed from Alabama's voter list. Those names will be sent to each county's Board of Registrars, where the local registrars will promptly remove them from the voter list at the county level. The implementation of AVID to help maintain our voter rolls is incredibly important. We are the first state in the nation to implement a system like this, and I am confident that we, as a result of AVID, will have the cleanest voter rolls that we have ever had. The hard work and dedication of my team here at the Secretary of State's office and by the members of the Board of Registrars in all 67 counties is greatly appreciated. Our voter list integrity and the safety and security of our elections relies on our local election officials, our probate judges, our circuit clerks, our sheriffs, and our members of our boards of registrars. The importance of the work that they do for our counties, our state, and our nation cannot be overstated. Finally, 8 months ago, I walked into this office and I asked the men and women in this office to buy into my philosophy that the people of Alabama put us here to be workhorses and not show horses. The fact that this system went from the drawing board to implementation in such a short period of time is just one example of evidence that everyone in this office works tirelessly to show our commitment to doing the work the taxpayers sent us here to do. And I will never forget that the work we do here in this office is not some menial, everyday task, and it cannot be treated as such. But the work we do here is the foundation of our constitutional republic. I'll be glad to take some questions from the press at this time.
Question. Exactly how different is Eric from this voter system? Like, why is this better than what you...
Yeah, this is an Alabama-based system. You know, this is not going to be some information that we send to some private nonprofit third-party vendor out of state. This is going to be something that we control and we have access to at all times, and that's what makes it so different. It's an Alabama-based solution. We're very, very proud of it. Ms. Erin?
How much will this system cost your office and taxpayers?
Yeah, we anticipate a little over $5,000 to get access to the Social Security Death Index list. And then also, we've already spent a little over $7,000 on the National Change of Address file to run that list and to identify those individuals. Hey, Maddie.
Hi. There's about 25 or so, just from what I've looked, states that are already a part of ARID.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned there's MOUs with a handful of other states.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have confidence that a bunch of other states will join this, or how is this helping since there are fewer states part of it already?
Well, listen, we've been working very hard since January the 16th, as I said earlier, and we're going to approach more states to get on board with these bilateral agreements, these MOUs that we have with these other states. But we're so very proud that we've got every state that borders us, and then Arkansas, and we're working now to extend those agreements with other states. So we're very, very proud of what we've been able to kind of put together in 8 months.
In the meantime, though, there's this gap between the MOUs that you're going to have with other states and the number of elections that are going to be here coming up. So how are you going to address that issue? Some voters come from out of the neighboring states, outside the neighboring states.
I didn't understand the first part of your question. Could you repeat your question?
Yeah, so there's going to be, so when do you think that you'll anticipate getting MOUs from all 50 states? And in that time, how are you going to handle people coming from different states outside of the neighboring states who come to vote here?
Well, we're working very, very hard to extend MOUs and agreements with other states. This is something that took 8 months to get these 5 states on board with us. So we're going to work extremely hard in the near future and the long term to make sure we get every state that wants to participate with Alabama can participate. Yes, sir.
What's MOU stand for, please?
Memorandum of Understanding. Yes, sir.
Say I move to Tennessee tomorrow and I register to vote there. How long would it take for that to show up in your system as me living in Tennessee?
Well, we're currently running the data on Tennessee, and so we would just have to run the data again once you get registered in Tennessee, if you decide to get registered in Tennessee.
Oh, I mean, you guys run the data like constantly.
It's going to be at least once a year. And like I said, it takes 4 years. You put them on a pathway to removal if we find a confirmed match. So it takes 4 years. So it's not an instant removal. Yes, sir. It's a process.
Is there you have not accessed the Social Security Index yet, the death index?
Mhm.
So you don't have a number?
No,
on
not
how
yet.
many are-
Not yet. But we should have that soon.
And also, for the county rolls, you're going to put this down to the county level. Are there policies in place, they have a certain amount of time to remove these names? Will there be someone checking to make sure the names are removed?
Oh, yeah. Yes, ma'am. We work closely with all of our 67 counties and their boards of registrars, and we're excited about this system and what it means for the state of Alabama and our election integrity. Maddie?
How many people have been identified so far under your system? I know you said more than 36,000 people moved, 8,500 identified in Tennessee. Do you have any ballpark numbers where you're at right now with that?
No, just from what we initially found, and we're going through that process of sending that postcard, like I explained, to tell them that, hey, you may want to either let us know you still live in Alabama or remove your name through alabamavotes.gov. All right. Hey, Mike.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Secretary, you said this is better because it's an Alabama-based system.
Yes, sir.
But what about the quality of the information? Isn't that the most important thing? And the completeness of the information. How is this information going to be better than what it was with Eric?
Well, because it's coming directly from the states with our MOUs. Also, we're getting information directly from another sister agency in our state government, ALEA, and Hal Taylor and his fine team. So we believe this is going to be much better for the state of Alabama and our taxpayers.
Even though there's only 5 states involved now?
Yeah, we believe, like, again, this is the first of its kind, and that we've set up this type of system in the United States. We believe in it. We know it's going to work. Like I said before, we've already identified the first data that's coming from Tennessee that we can identify, and we're going to continue to work hard to get other bilateral agreements set up. Yes, sir.
How confident are you that those states will actually make an agreement?
Well, I mean, we're going to reach out and talk to them. It's going to be up to them.
As far as identifying these people who have moved or died, is the county's responsibility to do that already? Is that already something that...
Yeah, so for individuals that pass away inside the state of Alabama, Department of Public Health sends out that list to the Board of Registrars monthly, and they remove the ones that pass away. What we've never had access to is when somebody in Alabama travels out of state and, may pass away out of state or go for surgery in another hospital or whatever, and they may pass away. So we've got access now to that information that we've never had, and we're pleased to have that access. Unless a family member doesn't present at the County Board of Registrars and present a death certificate, there's no way for us, the counties, to know. So we're going to have that full list of all Alabama residents that pass away outside of our borders.
What about people who just say somebody lives from Montgomery County to Tuscaloosa County? Are the counties catching that, or
They rely on the voter to update their voter registration. Yes, sir. Anybody else? That's Maddie.
The previous Secretary of State said ERIC was a good tool to catch voter fraud and said the state has done that in the past using ERIC. Why switch?
Well, when I campaigned, I made a promise that I was going to get us out of ERIC because I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe it was what was best for the state of Alabama. This system is not going to send data points on minors to any other state. It's not. That's what we did before. This is going to protect our personal information. It's going to keep it in Alabama. The server is in Alabama, and so we're very proud of what we've been able to do. This is going to be the Alabama-based solution that we promised on day one that what we would do. We pulled us out of ERIC, but we had a solution, and we're implementing that solution now. All right. Thanks, everyone.